Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here, the Wanderlust CEO. Today we're talking about, can you be a travel agent without hosting under another travel agency? So if you want to figure out if you can really truly be an independent travel agent in today's marketplace, how you would even do that, or is it in your best interest? That's what we're talking about on the show today. Stay tuned.
Come take my hand, I will walk with you. I won't let go till you say so. There isn't anything I wouldn't do. Wanna make sure that you understand.
All right, guys, don't forget to take a moment, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell over on YouTube. We bring you amazing content every single week to help you start, grow, and supersize your travel businesses all over the world. And today, we're talking about such a hot topic. Should you be an independent travel agent? Do you even need a host? Listen, if you're new here, I'm so glad that you found us. Type a little "I'm new" in comments. We're going to dive into all the good stuff today. But I want to welcome you to our community. And if you are new, my name is Cyndi Williams. I started in the travel industry nearly 30 years ago. I operate my own award-winning, highly successful travel agency, but I'm best known for being the CEO of Careers on Vacation, which certifies new, experienced, and agency owners at all different levels to run your businesses bigger and better. And man, this is a hot topic because depending on where you are in your journey, like, do I want to be a travel agent? Do I want to be an independent travel agent? Do I want to work for someone else? These are things that are very personal questions, and they really are based on your goals. So I'm going to tell you straight out of the gate, yes, technically you can be an independent travel agent free of the hosting system from day one. Now, should you do that? That is the question you really want to dive into a little bit deeper. So I would start by asking, do you have any industry experience? Like, were you a professional travel agent in the 80s, 90s, 2000s? Like, have you done the core job of being a travel agent before and know all the ins and outs of how it works, how to book travel, the functions, how to work with suppliers, all of those different things? And if the answer is no, you're completely new to the industry, that's where it gets a little dicey on, should I be with a host, even if it's temporarily, or should I go independent? So I want to start by talking about reasons why I get to ask this question, because we train a ton of agents every single year. We've trained thousands through our programs, and some will come in going, I want to be independent from the start. I want to be independent from the start. And we will support them on whatever journey. We can train people to be independent from the start. We can train you. We can match you with a host that is perfect and that will you'll be in the right fit. But there's some things that you really want to think through. And when I have someone that says, I just want to be independent, this is usually the reasons why. So I'm going to go through a little list here. The first is they don't want to share their commission, right? When you work under a host or under another agency, and keep in mind, just to give you a little travel industry 101, when you work for an agency or for a host, you are not an employee. You are just a contractor using their credentials. So they don't necessarily give you training, a ton of support. It's literally you are paying them a fee, usually a startup fee, usually a monthly fee, and then everything you book under those said credentials, they're going to keep a portion and you're going to keep a portion. Now, industry standard for new agents is 70-30. So do not accept less than that. Let me just start there. There's a lot of crazy things out there right now, guys, where people are keeping 50% or even they're keeping 60-70 and giving you there's a lot, but I don't want to get into all that today. It's totally a different video, but we'll talk about how to avoid that here in a second. But they don't want to share any portion of their commission, right? You're like, I'm doing all the work. I'm going to do the customer service. I'm going to do the booking. I'm going to do all the things. I want to earn 100% of my commission out of the gate. Another one is that I don't want to follow someone else's rules. I want to craft my own brand. I want to have my own look, my own feel. I want to make all the decisions in my business. I want to set up in a way that feels good to me. I have a custom model that I'm thinking about. Another one can be, I don't want to have a ceiling on my growth. When I'm working for a host or an agency, I know that they're not going to teach me how to have my own agency someday or how to be independent of their model, right? That's another one. And then not all hosts are right for everyone. This is something that happens. Like, don't go to an internet feed and be like, who's everybody using? Because I can tell you, the people that come into our program as new agents, meaning they have sold nothing or they've sold less than $300,000, we still consider in that new phase, right? Half of them just come to us because they just want to do it right from the beginning. They want to be matched properly. They want to do all the things. Good, right? The other half started their journey, DIY'd it, or went to a feed somewhere and said, oh, I'm this or I'm that. There are MLMs out there, you guys, that are not great. There are bad hosting contracts. There are groups on Facebook run by people that they say they're new travel agents, but really they are trying to get you to work for them. Now look, not all these are bad, but there are a few that if you get roped into the wrong situation, it's so hard to unwrangle you from that. It's much harder for me to work with someone who is like in a bad setup and now we have to take backward steps before they can go forward than just doing it right from the beginning. So your setup at the beginning is so important. But a lot of people have heard those horror stories and that's why they're like, I'm not even going to deal with a host. I literally just want to come in and be independent. So just remember, not all hosts are right. You have to really go through, we give our students a screening process. We have a set of preferred hosts, preferred vendors that we work with and partner with. We meet with them every year to understand what clients would be right to work with certain hosts and things like that. But you have to do that. If you're doing it on your own, you have to do that due diligence. You don't have all the information that's in my brain or in my team's brain. If you don't have someone professionally matching you with a host, then you have to really do a lot of research, or you might end up in this bucket where you're like, I just want to be independent, forget about it. But I want to talk about now, is that really a good choice to be independent at the very beginning if you have no industry experience? So I'm going to give you some pros and cons here, but I also want to tell you about my free masterclass. This literally will model out for you all of the different ways to get into the travel industry. And it's totally free class. I just get so many questions here on YouTube, and you guys are probably going to see this video, and everybody sends me DMs every day. So I apologize. I'm not a full-time YouTuber, you guys. I have a school to run, right? We're training hundreds of people every single month in our program. So I don't always get to the DMs, but we've seen trends of you guys asking the same question. So I created this free class for all of you guys, all of you looky-loos that are like, is this for me? It'll walk you through, is it for you? And it will also model the pros and cons of each way to get into the industry. I know today we're comparing independent compared to just regular hosting. So we are going to dive into that. But if you really want to get oriented in the industry, please take that masterclass. I'll link it down below. All right. So what are the pros of going with a host? Let's start there. Okay. Let's say we find a host that feels good. The agreement is not scammy or doesn't feel bad, right? It's a good host for all intents and purposes. If we found a good one, we're feeling great about it. You've read the contract, read those contracts. And, why would you want to do that, right? So you don't have to get your own credentials. In order to book travel, I did a video a few weeks back about how do you do that process of starting an agency. You have to have your own credentials. So a lot of you do not have that because you've never worked in the industry. You can get those credentials on your own, but they already have them. And it's not just about getting the credentials, because once you have the credentials, you then have to go to every single travel supplier that you would like to work with, and you have to register with them in order to start accepting commissions. A host or an agency will already have all of that done. So you literally will get some logins, you're using their credentials, and then boom, you can start selling travel. Now, I say boom, there's a lot in between the B and the M of boom that has to happen, but you guys get the idea. You don't have to go get the credentials yourself, right? So it's a little bit faster setup. And then you also get some basic help for getting started. Now, do not misunderstand what your host relationship is. As I said earlier, you are a contractor. You are not an employee. They are not going to hold your hand. They are not going to walk you through technical problems you're having on your computer. They are not going to help you with setups. They're going to say, here's where you get your stuff. Here's where you report your commission. Here, give us your bank account so we can pay you that commission. Good luck to you, right? And part of that is because you are a contractor and not an employee, they cannot require you to do standardized things like trainings and meetings and things like that. This is not an employer-employee relationship. Do not misunderstand that. You still are running a business under their business. You still have to be ready to train yourself, support yourself, figure out things. They're not going to do a lot of that for you. Think of it as like an accounting back-end feature of becoming an agent, okay? Now, what are the cons of working with a host? Of course, we mentioned the commission. You have to share some of your commission, and you're still running your own business. I kind of mentioned that just now. You're not necessarily in a mom and pop shop like back in the 80s and 90s, right? And then any sales that you make are going towards the host's hosts with an S credentials or through their total sales. Why is that important? So like if you sell a lot of Delta packages or Southwest Vacations or Disney, right? If you want to be Disney earmarked and you're selling $1 million, $2 million of Disney product every year, the agency is going to get credit for that. You are not going to get credit as the agent because you are just a number under their agency. So you are not going to get credit when you get to preferred levels with things like Delta and Disney. You get higher commissions, you get perks, you get fam trips. I can't tell you how many, and this is not bragging, I promise you, because I don't even have time to do any of this stuff because I have 3 kids, as you guys know if you've been following the channel for a while. I get offered fam trips all the time because of where we are sales-wise, because of what I do in the industry. I've seen on feeds lately, oh, there's no fam trips anymore. That's not true. The fam trips are going to the people who are producing because they know if we see their product, we're going to sell more of it, right? So, but I, as the agency owner, am getting those offers, right? Now, do they let me roll them down to my agents? Sure. That's awesome. But when you're working in a hosting relationship that has thousands of agents, are you going to be the one that they pick, or are they going to pick just the top 2 or 3 that are the highest? So you're in kind of this perplexing situation where you're trying to learn. You would love to go on a fam trip. You would love to take advantage of some of those. You're not going to get as many opportunities unless you're at those higher tiers. Usually. Now, some do like a raffle thing and things like that. At our agency, we do, we'll give it out to, I actually love to give it to the newer people because I feel like the faster they can see some more stuff out in the world, the more excited they'll be. But that's not the norm out in the industry. So that's one of those things that would be considered probably on the con list. The other one that's a big one for those of you who have a really defined idea of what you want to create with your travel business is you have to follow their rules. If they want you to use their branding, you have to use their branding. If they want you to use their CRM, like their system to manage their customers, customer relationship management system, you have to use the one that they say. And there might be a better one out there, right? So there's different things that you will be subject to when you are working as a contractor in a hosting environment that might not feel in alignment with what your goals are. So here's what no one's telling you guys, and what I really do feel is the best model. And I break this out in much further detail in the masterclass. So I really hope you guys take that. But I want you to take a hybrid approach. I do want all of you to be independent eventually, as long as you're feeling confident enough to do that. As long as you want to have your own brand, I think it's one of those things that's just have your own thing, earn all of your commission, get all the benefits. And that's what we really kind of specialize in, is helping people understand that. So, and I'll be honest, guys, hosts don't love it when I talk about this stuff because I don't work for any host. I'm not loyal to any host. We do not host agents, right? I have my agency, but it has set agents. We don't mix the hiring with the consulting that we do. So whenever someone's going through our programs, we are only giving them advice that is in their best interest. And we are already thinking 2-3 years ahead. Even if we're matching someone with a host temporarily, we are like, but here's from a longevity perspective, here's your path. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to match you here. Here's the plan. Here's when you graduate out, and here's how you do it. That information is not being shared in transparency in our industry. We're the only ones that I know of that are really doing that, because the goal of a lot of the larger hosts is just get them to host. So, and that's their business model. I respect that. I get that. It's all good. But I work for you. I don't work for anybody else. So what I'm telling you is hybrid model. Think hybrid model. Think ahead. Where are you going to be a year from now? Where are you going to be 3 years from now? And make sure you pick a setup that is in alignment with what those long-term goals are. Okay? So important. And listen, this is one of those videos where a lot of you guys are in that consideration phase. Take the masterclass, learn, because that's going to cover not just the different ways, but also how do you create really 7-figure sales to get to that place where you can replace another income and do other things. Do that first. That's a great place to start. But if you know that you want to earn a certification, you just want to do it right from the beginning, that you want the steps to be independent eventually, even if you're matching or using a hybrid model, and you want to work with someone that understands your goals, that's what we do at Careers on Vacation. So we actually have an enrollment team, guys, where that's our masterclass, but when our enrollment team, you can actually schedule a call so we can learn about your goals, because like I said earlier, what's right for you might not be right for the next next person that we talk to based on your goals. Do you want to be independent? Do you want to take this hybrid model that we talk about? Do you want to just host and be happy with a host? We have a lot of people we can match with you that way too. So we will talk about what your goals are, and if it is a match to apply for the Careers on Vacation program, we will give you that information, help you with that. If not, you're going to walk away with some great tips. Our program, just so you guys know, is an ASTA affiliated travel school, and we have more video case studies than any program out there in the industry because we are focused on your results. So visit us over there. If we can be of any help to you, we would love to do that as well. And guys, I hope you enjoyed today's topic. This is a fun one, and it's a tricky one, right? Because it's like you have to identify your goals first. In fact, do I have my goals thing up here? Yes, I think that is. Is that right? Yes. Grab my goal. I'm gonna go ahead and put my goal map down for you below as well. This is a great tool if you're like so confused and you're like, let me figure out my goals first. What do I really want? This will help you map your goals. Grab that. That's a free tool that we have, and it will just kind of help you on your journey. So do that first, get aligned, figure out what you want, and then take those next steps. And listen, whether you work with us or not, I wish you so much love, so much abundance. I wish you the world. And guys, I'm gonna see you next week. Have a great one. Bye, guys.
It's calling me, like the rainbow, It's calling me, like the rainbow.
Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here. If you like that last video, make sure you check out all of the other content on our channel. And if you want to follow along and travel with me around the world and see how I run my amazing travel brands and get some great tips on how to grow your own, make sure you check out that other content. I'm going to drop a couple videos here. Click those links. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.
It's calling